private sector is now, in the last 5 to 6 years, they are taking proactive role in order to gain the confidence of the farmers, in order to gain the trust of the farmers, not just by pushing the products, the inputs, but to be there for the farmers when the farmers needs them. And that change in the paradigm of how private sector has approached the farmers, particularly smallholder farmers, is very important, has very important implications for how the public sector has to be organized. I'll give you an example. In the last 20 years, even in India, for example, we have been studying, there has been decline in the role of public sector, partly because of the subsidy issue I talked about, partly because of human resources, that had created a vacuum for private sector to come in. And private sector saw that public sector is not for the commodities that they've been interested in, say sugarcane. Smallholder farmers grow sugarcane, and almost 90% of the sugarcane grown by the smallholder farmers has to be bought by a private company which aggregates the commodities and makes sugar. Without that, there is no market for the sugarcane. And India is one of the largest producer of sugarcane from the smallholder sector. But all along, the private sector companies which buy sugarcane to make sugar and sell it confectionaries and sugar in the market assumed private sector extension is not our role, it is the role of the public sector, and they will advise the farmers on production issues related to sugarcane, and we can just simply take the produce and produce. Now what has happened? Because of the poor technology transfer, poor communication, poor extension system, farmers are not able to get the yield they want to get, and because of the low yield, they would rather go in for other commodities that does not require too much of water like sugarcane, that does not require too much of extension advice all the time in terms of pests and diseases, natural resource management, and choice of the seedlings, for example. All these issues require constant advisory services. Now farmers have moved on, say, oh, I would rather go grow cashew nut, right? It's a perennial crop, cashew, and I can get out of sugarcane. Now the private companies are waking up. If the farmers are not supplying us the sugarcane, we are not going to be in the business. So in order for the farmers to supply good quantity, grow in a reasonably good area in the sense that it can supply constant supply of sugarcane to the company has to create its extension service, so that there is a constant supply, not only supply of in terms of quantity but quality produce. And I just gave you an example that is the role the private sector is going to increasingly play in terms of coming in and ensuring the products that they get is of good quality and the farmers benefit out of their extension, so that they can be in the business along with the farmers, so that it's a win-win kind of situation, not only in terms of production advice but also marketing. Assure them the market and then make sure that they get the price, because price volatility is a killer. And one of the information need for the farmers in general is to know what the price they are going to get when the commodity is ready to be marketed.